What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is only my second video, so I'm pretty excited just to continue to get into content with you guys and try to produce something valuable. You know, today I wanted to kind of talk about my AR-15 setup. There's something like 20 to 40 million AR-15s in circulation, they say, in the United States. So naturally, this video is for educational purposes only, so YouTube, be easy. I just started, So this is my FN-15 Tactical 2. It was actually the very first AR-15 that I ever laid my hands on. FN was a familiar name to me, specifically for the SCAR, but naturally they built or produced a lot of other firearms as well. But they're very well known for the SCAR platform, so I thought that I couldn't do any wrong with an AR-15, especially as my first one. I felt that the manufacturing and the quality of all the components were definitely going to be good for me long term. I've been running this rifle for almost 6 years now, coming up in August, so it's done me right. Never had a misfire. I've never had any particular issues with it. I clean it regularly. I couldn't tell you exactly how many rounds I put through it every single year, but I do get out and train. Just going through the rifle setup as it is today. It was pretty good stock. It had a lot of Magpul furniture on it when I first got it. It's changed quite a bit over time. I've made a lot of modifications to it, but just, I guess Grand Thumb would say tip the butt. I don't know if that's how I'd put it these days, but rules always apply, they say. So we have a Strike Industries King Comp. I'm using that for managing recoil. It works pretty well. So this rifle came with a flash hider. I think it was actually an FN proprietary flash hider. Now that I think about it, 3-prong flash hider, but I swapped it out for this Strike Industries King Comp. It's pretty good for me. Of course, it's going to be loud. I get the trade-off there, but it works really well in terms of recoil management. I also have a light that I purchased from Olight. This is the very first light. I know that it's really important to have a light on your weapon systems. Otherwise, you won't be able to identify what you're potentially shooting, whether it's for precision shooting in the evening, right? Low light activity at the range, or if you're talking about, a self-defense situation when it's dark. So I understand the value of having a light. I just wanted to make sure I got one. This one's pretty good. It has the pressure pad on it. And that pressure pad, it's momentary, but also you can activate a sort of strobe and it works. It does have a proprietary battery, so you can't swap it out with like a few CR123s. You have to use Olight's proprietary battery and charging system, which has been fine. It hasn't failed. I've had this for probably 5 years. So again, it's doing pretty well and pretty good price point from what I recall. Less than $200 for sure. Moving further down, what we have now in terms of foregrip, we have a Difrico sort of foregrip. I forget the name of this. I'll have to look it up and maybe show you guys. But it's pretty good. I've always had Magpul vertical grips, different versions of that. The Picatinny version. I've also had the M-Lock version. I've also used angled foregrips. I've even used a bipod that I still have. Sometimes I swap it out to put the bipod on it. But right now I am running this foregrip from Difrico. Along the barrel there are just a lot of Magpul rail covers that have a texture grip to it. I really like that, especially when I'm using gloves. Always using Magpul magazines. I've got all different kinds of versions, the ones with the windows. I've got the translucent ones that are sort of recent, I guess. I also have a little Strike Industries dust cover. I also have a 6-hour Tango MSR 1-10x28. When I got this rifle, I've always used a red dot on it. I have iron sights. I've taken them off for the time being, but I've always used a red dot. I started out with Hollow Sun, and then I quickly realized that I wanted something robust, so I purchased an EOTech EXPS 3-2, as well as the G43 magnifier, which I still have. I'm just running those on my CZ Scorpion right now. And then I wanted to swap it out and try an LPPO, so that's exactly what I did late last year. The only gripe I have about it is it lost the handle that you grip to rotate the magnifier. It came off. I probably could have submitted like a warranty claim or something for it, but to be honest, I didn't like it that much, so it worked out. But that is the only thing, and from a quality perspective, about the LPBO that I have. I have two different things from Radiant that I put on the rifle. Ambi safety selectors, so naturally it's on both sides of the rifle. It just works for me, whether I'm putting it on fire with my thumb and then putting it back on safe with my index finger. It works really good. I also have a Radiant Raptor charging handle. That's been pretty good. It's an Ambi, of course. Difrico here on the grip. It's the same texture, colorway, if you will, as the Foregrip. It came as a package. I really like Difrico. I really like this one. It's a lot less angled, much more closer to 90 degrees, and then it has a bit of a cutout for your finger, so you really get a good purchase on it when you're preparing to take a shot. So this worked out pretty nice for me. I also have a Ferro Concepts sling. I love this thing. It just works out really well. I love this quick release. It's just nice, man. It just hasn't failed. It's just really rugged as well. I really like this. I've used a Magpul sling in the past. I wasn't too much of a fan of it, but I still have it, you know. It's good to have backups, but this Ferro Concept sling I really like the most. And then lastly, I have a Magpul MOE SLS stock. So this came with a Magpul stock. It wasn't the SLS, different version, much more thin. I really liked this one because you really have a good landing spot for your cheek as you bring it up to your shoulder. It's just, it works out really nice. Plus it has the little storage compartments on both sides. So I've stored a few extra CR123 batteries in it. That was typically for the EOTech holographic sight, which uses CR123s, but I just kept them in there in case I need them for something else. It's just good backup space. That is pretty much it on the rifle. Oh, I guess there's one other thing. I did add a Magpul bad lever just for releasing the bolt easy when it's locked back after a reload or right before a reload. So it's been pretty good. It's convenient, I'll say that. Not that I always need it, but I like having the option to quickly release the bolt and get right back into it. So it's been pretty good. As we move forward, I really want to get into some of the short barrel rifles. So I have a CZ Scorpion I mentioned. That one's going through a process with the ATF right now. That Form 1, we'll talk about that in a different video. I really want to start looking into a short barrel rifle or an AR pistol platform. Yeah, I'll be looking at Q, BCM. I also consider Palmetto State just for the price point, just to, you know, kind of expand a little bit and test things out and see what I really like, see what I don't like, and then go from there. But I know what this platform is capable of. I understand what effective range is though, but I enjoy shooting this platform. And then as I move forward, aside from the ARs, I really want to look into a dedicated marksman rifle, something that is truly dedicated for long distance, something maybe in 308 or 6.5 Creedmoor, but we'll get into that. If you guys have opinions about what you think would work for an AR pistol or SBR, and also something that's dedicated for long range shooting, just let me know. Drop it in the comments and I'll take a look, and maybe I'll take you guys with me as I venture out into, you know, purchase maybe shields, maybe rifle gear, maybe Texas gun experience. I don't know, we'll figure that out. But I appreciate you guys. More to come. Like and subscribe. Peace.